to teach you one cool, simple trick that will make you sound way better and way much more like the legend himself, Jimi Hendrix. What he used to do is he used to play his E shapes very uniquely. He used to use his thumb on the root note and let his first, second, third fingers handle the rest, leaving his pinky free to dance and kind of create some interesting textures and tones using some of the different notes from the scale. So essentially an E shape would be this, right? If we're playing E major, if I move that up, it's E, F, F sharp, G. We're going to use G in our example, as you can see on the whiteboard here. The key of G is up. And so what that is essentially just a 1, 3, 5. I got a 1, a 5, a 1, a 3, a 5, and a 1. Well, Hendrix did that chord, but he did it like this. He would put his thumb around here. That's why there's a this note here. I want to put a T on that. Boom. That's your thumb. And that is where I usually lose a lot of students. Don't panic. If you can't quite get that note, it actually doesn't matter that much. Do your best. Wrap it around. Grab the 3rd fret E string. We're going to use our 3rd finger to bring it around for the D string 5th fret, muting the A string. As you can see, there is an X on my A string. Now I'm playing the D string 5th fret with my 3rd finger. That's just another 1, by the way. If I play that note here, that's the 4th fret G string. That's my note of B. That's, in this case, a 3rd. My first finger plays the 5th, which is the 3rd fret of the B string. I know it's a lot of numbers. And that alone is good enough. Right? If you want to go the extra mile, if you got the pause for it, I would say, you can grab that extra 1 as well. I don't have the biggest hands, but I can pull this off. So if I can do it a little bit, you should be able to at least do a little as well. So, check this out. I now have a 1, a mute, a 1, a 3, a 5, and a 1, as I have listed here on the board. Okay? 1, 1, 3, 5, 1. Well, what Hendrix would do is he would play that, and now we got a pinky free. Kind of cool, right? And that pinky can do this. I can play the, let's say, the 5th fret of the G string is the note of C. That's kind of cool. You'll hear that a ton in his playing. And all I'm doing is I'm simply replacing the 3 with a 4. That creates a G sus4. Boom. That 4 comes in place right here. That is an optional note. Kind of cool, right? So, let me go just put that in there. Whoop, drop my markers. Boom. That right there is my 4. That is totally an option. And that's something he'll do all the time with his pinky. Creating a sus4. Now, what he could do as well is he could play the 5th fret of the B string. Hear this in, When Christ Mary. Right? You hear a lot of that. And what that is that is a 6. This is a 5. Sharp 5, 6. That right there is a 6 in the key. So that is also an option. Let's write that down. Boom, we got a 6. Already we got a lot of options. Cool, right? You can hammer on, pull off, trill, all that stuff. It's all going to sound pretty cool. And that's going to get you by for a lot of the Hendrix songs. The last thing you'll see him do is he'll actually play the 5th fret of the high E string. And so that right there is a little bit of a harder one for a lot of players because playing that 3rd fret high E string is already a difficult task. So do your best. And again, if you have to sacrifice that root, that's fine. You actually have a root and a root here, so that will get you by, not a big deal. And that note right there, the 5th fret high E string, is a note of A. Now you might be saying, oh cool, so that's just, if this was an A sus4, whenever I put my C in place of my 3rd, now that I've got a 2, that's the A, that's an A sus2, right? Well, not quite, because my 3rd is still here. So what that actually makes it is this. Key of G is G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in Roman numerals because I'm fancy like that. Just kidding, it's actually kind of a proper way to do it. You'll see as we keep learning. So the G would be an 8 in the A. would be a 9. If you didn't know that the major scale extended past those 8 notes, you're welcome. That's not what we're going to cover in this video, but that is what happens. So check this out. Because that's a 9, now if I have a 1, a 3, and a 5 in place, if I add the A, you can no longer call that a 2, although you could. You could say this is a G add 2, but it's more proper to call it G add 9. A big part of Hendrix's sound. So we got a G add 9. I'm going to go and put that right here. That's right. A little I and a little X. And so, if you want to sound more like the man himself and not to do too much work, it's simple. Just find that E shape and just dance around on those frets. And that, by the way, works for every single place you're going to put it. If I put it up here on an A major chord, that is the 5th fret, and then everything else following. Now I'm playing an A sus4, an A6, and an A add 9. And so forth. That would always be the same. Have some fun. Try that out with any song that you know, especially something using a typical E chord or E shape, and you're going to notice yourself having a lot more fun with those songs. Alright, hope this was helpful. I'll see you guys in the next one.